Hey folks, Deano here again. This time, I would call this a part 2 of my 06B TonsenartToys Trunks review, but in all honesty, this is closer just to a definitive guide on what you get and how each Tonsenart Trunks looks. Yeah, I was basically given this idea by a subscriber, Logan. Shout out to you. Yeah, basically what I'm going to do here is, first of all, this is probably going to be a long video. Bear that in mind. Also, there will be a number of jump cuts, because if I don't do jump cuts, it's just going to take forever. So yeah, basically what I'm going to do is compare the faces that come in each come with each figure. Then I'll compare all the different accessories each figure comes with. And finally, I'll compare the figures themselves, and we'll even do some face swaps between them, some head swaps, and even some jacket swaps for 06A and B's jackets, because those do look cool. And as a little bonus, I also have the Sword of Hope from the Dragon Ball Super Future Trunks, and I also have the official Boy from the Future Trunks heads and faces here, just to see if any of those fit. I tried it when I first got the figures, but obviously some of you probably haven't watched all those reviews, so might as well put them all in one cohesive review. Links will hopefully be in the description for each and every one of these guys. I know for a fact 05A and B are probably going to be really high in price at this point, especially 05A. Even though I kind of still prefer 05B, apart from the hair for that guy. 06A, I think, is getting up there in price. 06B, I could probably find a decent deal online for him. But yeah, links will be in the description if that is the case. So yeah, without further ado, can you tell it's late? I'm reviewing this many hours after reviewing the 06B review. So yeah, let's get all of the faces out here and get that out of the way real quick. So, in terms of the faces, yeah, some time has passed since the last part. Yeah, it took far too long to put all of these faces in these rows. I will not be doing this again, so hopefully I do this in one take. But yeah, from top to bottom, we have 05A, 05B, 06A, and 06B down the bottom, the newest one. At least the newest one I have. And yeah, as you can see, there is a varying amount of faces here, and a varying amount of expressions. Some duplicates, some not. Some are quite unique, which is good. We like as little like duplicates as possible when we're buying multiples essentially of the same figure. But yeah, starting at 05A, we have a stern face. I'll try and focus on the back row. So yep, we have stern face, smiling face looking off to the side. We have teeth gritted face, a yelling face, a really happy mouth open face. That's unique. I like that. Crying, sort of he's just saved the future face. As for Super Saiyan, we only have 3 with 05A. So we get stern looking off to the side slightly, teeth gritted looking off the other way slightly, and yelling face up there. For 05B, we have similar, but some of them are different directions that the eyes are looking, stuff like that. So we have stern face, which is looking ever so slightly to his left, our right, smirk face, looking straight ahead, teeth gritted, looking off to the side, yelling face, stern Super Saiyan face. Again, these two, 05B and 06A, they have metallic hair, so the eyebrows are metallic. So we have stern face, Super Saiyan smirk face. That is pretty much the reason I got 06B to begin with, that smirking Super Saiyan face. And wouldn't you know it, we actually haven't had that in any of the other sets, so that is really unique. Same with these two at the top, sort of crying in the really happy-go-lucky face. We have teeth gritted face, yelling face, and the goofy sort of shocked expression face. Again, that is unique to 05B. 06A, we have pretty much the same faces we had with the rest of them. Just the eyes have been tweaked, as well as the size of the eyes on the base form heads. So we have stern face, smirking, looking off to the side, teeth gritted, and yelling face again. You will notice these three, the eyes are now bigger. Well, the smirking face is the same as up there, but the eyes are now bigger on the other two. And the yelling face, the eyes are now more prominent, looking ahead, whereas before they were kind of looking up. Super Saiyan, the stern face is now looking off to the side, in a direction that none of the other ones are. Teeth gritted, looking off to the other side, and yelling face. 06A, frankly, is the weakest of the bunch when it comes to the faces. And then we have 06B, which, kind of unfortunately, these three are not really usable in any of the other heads, but we will get into that later, because of the sort of pink eyebrows. So we have stern face, smirking, looking forward face, and teeth gritted face. Again, the smirk face is similar to 05B's, but they have changed the pupils, so they are looking ahead instead of that sort of looking up thing. I'm not entirely sure which kind I prefer, to be honest. Part of me prefers 05A's sort of more serious expressions, but these ones with the slightly bigger eyes look more natural to me. Anyway, this is where the fun begins with these ones. So we have stern face and teeth gritted. Those are standard. We've got those before. Then we have the sort of rage yelling face, which specifically for this one I will compare. These two are pretty much the same. Well, you would think that they were the same, but they are not. So this is the standard yelling face that we've gotten with pretty much all of them so far. This one is a different sculpt. The mouth is out wider and the eyes are a more pained sort of expression, I want to say. You can just about make the eyeballs in there, but it's either rage or he's just been knocked out. One of the two. But yeah, very nice that we get that unique expression there. Very nice indeed. And then to finish off, we have two more unique expressions. We have the getting socked in the jaw face. Vegeta's got sick of him asking for help from the past. He's just punched in the face. And then we have the punched in the stomach with a lovely saliva coming out. So yeah, that is every expression between the four sets. Let me know what you guys prefer of the lot of them. To be honest, I probably prefer 05B, if you were to put a gun to my head, purely because of that Super Saiyan smirk. But yeah, they all have their uses. Even the 06A, which is kind of weak in terms of faces, but you use what you can get. Let's take a look at the different heads. So we have 8 sets of hair in total, 4 Super Saiyan and 4 base form. They do vary slightly from version to version. But for the most part, there are 4 separate sculpts here, just in different colours. In terms of 05A specifically, I'll get these out of the way. 05A comes with a separate windy front bang piece, which is nice, but it doesn't really work that well because obviously the back of the hair is not windy, so you would have to make sure you're posing it in a way that you can't actually see the back of his head. And 05B comes with a alternate set of bangs, which again is decent. It's closer to his look when he first arrived in the past, not the end. These ones are obviously more spiked up for when he fought the future androids and destroyed them. But yeah, this is still a very nice additional piece to add in. Just wish the front parts that stick down weren't quite as long. I have thought about trimming them because I did trim 05B's base form hair. Spoilers. 05A, we have what is probably the best looking of the bunch because it has some really nice shading in the middle section here. 05B is more styled after the manga with the darker purple. Obviously the official coloured manga because originally he did have blue hair. The 06A has the long haired bangs with the purple, which for some reason are the same shade of purple as 05A. I always find that kind of strange. It doesn't have any shading either, even though 05A did, but hey-oh, what are you going to do? And 06B, obviously, is the strangest of the lot, with the sort of peach pink hair, based off the horrible quality VHS tapes from the 80s and 90s. So yeah, it's a nice inclusion. I kind of wish he wouldn't have bothered and just given us even like a darker purple one again. But what are you going to do? 05A's Super Saiyan hair is a sort of matte painted pale yellow, which is really nice. 05B's it's kind of like just a glossy paint. It's not quite metallic. I was quite disappointed with that when I got it. But Tonsen did redeem himself with 06A, which is a really, really nice sort of pale metallic yellow, going into like a deeper shade of yellow in the middle of the bangs. And then 06B is again different from 05A, even though it's meant to be the same colour of hair. This is just straight up pale yellow plastic, with some slight highlights to it. It's very difficult to see on camera, but there is a difference in the plastic colour at the very least. Whether that is actual highlights or not, I'm not sure. But yeah, it is really, really nice. And it's a paler shade than this one, and it's also like not painted, which is surprising. I would have assumed they would have just painted it again, but hey-oh. Obviously, faces don't matter in this segment. They're just literally to hold up the hair pieces on the camera. So yeah, again, which of these do you prefer? Frankly, I'm going to go with 6A. I've always had a soft spot for how BoJack Trunks looked. 06A's base form hair is superb. I do like it, even though it lacks shading. I do really like the metallic colour as well. But 06B's Super Saiyan hair comes in a very, very, very close second. Right, so yeah. In terms of base form hairs, 05A's takes it. Just second place, past 06A's. But yeah, as you can see, I have modified 06A's to get the bangs out of the way. One of the bangs is still in place, but I have sneakily glued this bang to the side just to get it out of the way of the eyes. So yeah, nice little mod there for those of you who were not aware. And 05B's, I just cut them short, to make it look more like a start of the Android Saga Trunks instead of the end. But here, that's just what I did myself. So yeah, next let's take a look at the unique accessories that it comes with. So yeah, this will be a quick two parts. I'll pan up in the next shot just to show you the swoosh effects that come with 05A and B. But yeah, with 05A and B, you get him taking off the jacket in different colours. For some reason, neither of them are the correct purple colour. I'm not sure why Tonsen did it that way, but hey yo. And you also get the hands and pockets accessory. I'm only showing one of each because one of my official Trunks figures is using one of these ones, and I don't want to pop it all off because it looks really nice and it was a pain to put on. So yeah. In terms of 06A, he comes with the little baby Trunks accessory, which I forgot to show has an alternate head. Little crying head there. For some reason, he also comes with a pair of swappable like arms as well, but for some reason they seem to be lost to the ether for me. I recently rejigged how I store all my accessories. They are now up on the wall in a sort of almost like a screw cabinet, one of those organizer things. And yeah, for some reason those have disappeared. They are probably in one of the other tubs. I really am not in the mood for going searching for a tiny pair of hands. So yeah, just know it does come with a pair of interchangeable arms, but I will not be showing it. Also comes with a hand holding the sort of purple dandelion looking flower, that just so happens to be in Trunks' colours. He held that in the BoJack movie. And in terms of 06B, yes, I am including the sword because it is a unique sculpt compared to the rest of the swords you get. You get a broken sword, which is very nice, and what people are calling a mini sword of hope, but I just think it's like a beam sword sort of thing, because he did use a sort of beam effect on his sword before the Sword of Hope was created, blah blah blah. And we get a pair of hands holding key balls, or key blasts, that have not been fired, which is very nice. I like the different array of accessories that these kits come with. I don't know whether to include the jackets in this. Nah, they're part of the figure. I think Tonsen considered them an accessory. So you know what? We'll get them now. And here they are. This is the jacket you get with 06A. It's a nice deep blue. There is it sort of black wash? I never noticed that before. Almost looks like there's a sort of black wash in there. That may just be the deep shadows though. Nice rips there, and they followed the official Trunks with a sort of cut in the middle, but they improved it. They actually glued it to the back of the collar instead of gluing it to the back of the figure on the Boy from the Future Trunks, which made that an absolute pain to modify. But yeah, this one comes off in one solid piece and does just as good, if not a better job, frankly. So we have that piece, and then we have 06B's version, which is a more tattered, less uniform look to it. It has quite an obvious sword slash across the front, obviously to go with the rip on the front of his vest as well. Quite nice. We have some bits of fabric just flowing there. And on the back we have quite a strange setup. I'm not sure why Tonsen sculpted it this way. Obviously it's from probably when he's been punched in the gut or something with such force that it's ripped the jacket from within. But yeah, I'm not sure why the bits of clothing are sticking up the way at the back. That's not how physics and gravity work, Tonsen. Not sure why you done that. They should have all just been folded down the way, but it does look nice all the same. There is some really nice sort of airbrushing on this, give it some extra detail, and yeah, I do like that. So yeah, let's quickly pan up and show you the sort of sword effects that you get with 05A and B. Or how about we don't bother panning up and just put it on the table like always because they fit. So yeah, 05A and B also came with these really nice sword slashing effects. 05A's was a quite opaque white going into a really light purple at the edge. You also get this bit that slides onto the swords, like so. Soft plastic this bit. The big parts are more solid. This one is 05B's version, which is more clear, going into a more deep magenta sort of purple. I personally use this big slash for my Goku Black. I think that goes really well with his, well, either his beam sword or his scythe. So yeah, something to keep in mind. You can use these with other figures, obviously. And obviously the connector just slots in there. Just beware, once you pop those in, there is very little chance you're getting them back out. So yeah, just something to keep in mind. So let's quickly look at all the swords and we'll finish up the accessories segment. And these are the 4 swords. 4 Swords Adventures. But yeah, this is 05A's, 05B, 06A, 06B. 05A and B vary more drastically than the other two. The 2 scabbards or sheaths for 06A and B are the official colour scheme that Tamashii went with. For some reason, 05A went with a sort of red colour, which I believe is kinda manga accurate in some cases. 05B just went off the deep end with this. I think this is like original manga accurate with the colour scheme, but it honestly looks more like Xeno Trunks, his swords, than anything else. I will say the swords for me on 05A and B had some really bad flashing on them. This one actually has a chunk out of it at the bottom there. Yeah, you can see some really bad sort of excess sprue on the hilt and stuff. And I didn't notice in that original review, but the pommel is actually chipped or cracked on 05A's, which is a bit unfortunate. 06A and B did solve that problem. Those are perfect. Obviously 06B is the unique one with the broken sword, but it still fits in the scabbard just fine. I'm just not entirely sure why they went with a blue hilt or a blue strap, to be completely honest with you. I think they were trying to copy Dragon Ball Super Trunks colour scheme, but why? It's not Dragon Ball Super Trunks. I get the reference with the effect, but just make it unique to him. Like, I don't get why we need to do that. But yeah, let's finally move on to what everyone is waiting on, the figures themselves. Okay, so back to the figures. So what I'm going to do next is put the jackets on 05A and B and swap them between 06A and B and see how those look. We have already seen what they look like on the respective figures, but maybe someone wants to swap them around a little. So let's say we'll try 06A's first with 05A. Seems only fitting. So you pop that on, and as expected, that works just fine. In fact, I would always say that that fits a little bit better. I don't know why. But yeah, if you wanted to, you could also pop that off and pop the base form Trunks head on there, just like so. Looking good, I do say. I do kind of think the 06B jacket will fit better with this guy though, because it's got highlights on it and this guy has really light hair. Let's have a look. And yeah, that looks nice. I do like that. Obviously the head does not really fit the jacket, but you can swap all those around as well, obviously, as I just showed. But yeah, I think that looks good. Do like that. Let's get that off. That's a bit fiddly. So 05A, you have fulfilled your purpose. Get back in line. 05B, get over here. So I'll move this back the way. Sounds like his arms are needing a bit of a tune-up with some silicone oil. Yeah, there we go. And yeah, I quite like that. The darker pants and stuff actually lends pretty well to the darker colour of that jacket. I do actually quite like that. That's nice. Just for giggles, let's say pop the pink hair on, the pretty in pink Trunks. There we go. That was a bit of a harder pop than usual. And yeah, it looks okay. I don't really like that head though. Not sure why I even wanted to attempt that, but there you go. Yeah, you put that on, and that looks nice. I do like it. And finally, let's get that jacket off and put this one onto this body. And yeah, it looks okay. I don't think the lighter colours of the jacket really work too well with this body, being like the darker sort of trousers or pants, as Americans call them. So yeah, just something to keep in mind. That is a really bad squeak, I apologise. Let's get that back into position. There we go. So 06A, we already know how the normal jacket looks on him. Let's see what the torn jacket looks like. I can imagine it'll be very similar to 05A. There we go. And yeah, that looks pretty good. I like it. Let's say the metallic sheen of the hair is really lending itself well to the highlights on the jacket, sort of thing. Yeah, I quite like that. Moving on. And finally, let's see what a normal jacket looks like on this guy. There we go. Can't find it. I'm looking through the viewfinder. There we go. There we go. Yeah, that looks pretty good. The darker jacket I don't think really works with the really pale hair. You would have thought it would be highlighted a bit, but then so is the metallic hair. That's lit up even more. But yeah, that's quite nice. Only problem I have with it is it hides the battle damage on his vest. So yeah, but it is something you can do if you so choose. Me personally, I'll probably be keeping them as they should be. This guy with the tattered jacket and 06A with his normal jacket. Obviously, when I put these back on display, some of them will be base form. I'm just showing it off with the Super Saiyan hair more just as a standard. And yeah, let's do some quick face swaps, shall we? Before we then try the official faces and see if those fit in any of these. And then we will finish up. Hallelujah. So yeah, let's start off with 05A, shall we? Apologies, headphone users, for that scraping across the floor there. So where is that face? So for this one, I thought I'd just put him getting hit in the stomach sort of face. You can just imagine Broly attacking Princess Trunks here because he lied to him. But yeah, that looks really good. That face does work in conjunction with that, which I am kind of surprised about, honestly. There we go. 05B. I think we'll swap out the bangs as well just to show you what that looks like. And this one, I have decided to put on the getting socked in the jaw face, which I think is really good. I really like how that looks, quite honestly. Yeah, for 06A, we'll do the funny shocked expression right there, just to show that works really well as well. I hope the point people are getting across here is that all the faces are compatible across all the figures. I'm just showing what ones that came with different figures look like on these bodies. And for 06B, we obviously had to do the rage-induced face, which is unique to this figure, obviously. But yeah, I definitely thought he deserved it. So yeah, instead of doing all that again, I will jump cut to all the base form heads being on there with random faces on there as well. And here we are. So what I did was I swapped the front bangs out with this guy. This is a face from 05B. You can see there's a slight difference in the purple, but it's not something you really notice when it's on display. Same with this. I honestly kind of think this looks better. Well, kind of. This is obviously 06B's face on the 05B head. The eyebrows are a little bright, but I think it still works. For 06A, I put on 05A's really excited happy face, and that works really well. And finally, at the recommendation of Logan, this is the 06B head with one of the 05B faces on it. And yeah, I do think that looks a bit better, honestly. I do agree. The darker eyebrows work with it. The lighter eyebrows that come with 06A and 05A do not work with this head, but 05Bs do. So do with that information what you will. I personally still don't like the head itself because of the colour of it, but it is an option if you so choose to do so. So yeah, let's quickly take a bonus look at the official heads on these bodies, just to see what they look like. Maybe you prefer them, I don't know. But yeah, let's do it. So yeah, can you spot the difference? Yeah, I put the Boy from the Future Trunks base form head on 05A. Obviously, both of these heads pop on perfectly fine to this body, and vice versa. The pegs are identical, so you can take Tonson's heads and pop them on the official body. In fact, I will quickly show that right now to show you I am not fibbing. There we go, popped on literally easy as you can do. So yeah, do appreciate that. Nice compatibility. Yeah, I mean, I've never been a fan of the Boy from the Future Trunks heads, personally. I think they look a bit too generic to be Trunks. But some people might prefer them. I mean, this certainly still works well. But yeah, I specifically took off the jacket just to show what this would look like. But yeah, I do quite like it. Finally, I think we will quickly pop on a couple of the Super Saiyan heads onto this body, just to see what it looks like, since this guy is supposed to be the star of the show. So yeah, let's do that. So this is 06B with the 05A head on there. Obviously I still have the saliva face from before. But yeah, it works perfectly fine. It looks really good. And yeah, do really like it. And this is the 05B head on the 06B body. Again, really think it looks nice. The shorter hair actually lends itself quite well to this battle damage look. I am kind of surprised about it, but yeah. And finally, 06A on the 06B body. Obviously it still has the funny shocked expression on there, but I think that kind of works better than the standard head that comes with it. In fact, I might end up swapping them. I might just be putting this back on. I think it was the 05B body that I was using at the time. But yeah, I think the standard hair fits well to like powered down looks, and the metallic one fits in action and highlighted figures. So yeah, I quite like it. But yeah, folks, he says as he almost destroys the entire setup. But yeah, guys, let me know what you guys think. Was this enough detail for you? Please let me know. I did everything I could without this turning into an hour-long video. But yeah, guys, let me know what you think down in the comments. Do you still think these figures are worth getting if you don't have them already? Reminder that Demonico Fit are coming out with their own version based off the Boy from the Future Trunks mould. That's probably coming out in the next couple of months, I would guess. Demonico Fit seem to really be on the ball recently. So yeah, I'll leave a link in the description if you wish to pre-order that from El Surprise Wholesale Toy Store. Yeah, guys, until next time, I'll see y'all later.